Hey gamers and tech enthusiasts, welcome to Tech Tactics. Today we're putting the Asus RTX 4090 to the test to see if it's the best GPU for 1440p in 2025. Now, I will state the best GPU and not the best value GPU. And don't go anywhere, because we're also diving into Cyberpunk's new DLSS 4 update towards the end of the video to find out if it truly delivers next-gen performance. Now, let's get started. But first, a quick word from our sponsor. The online marketplace for CD keys and software. G2A.com, where you can find discounts on all the keys you need. First up, we're diving into Red Dead Redemption 2. Time to head back to the Wild West with Arthur Morgan, and yeah, it's 2025, so we're all here for those jaw-dropping visuals and maybe just a little bit of horse-punching. For nostalgia's sake, Red Dead Redemption 2 has hit its lowest price ever on Steam in the UK. Just $14.99, it's an absolute steal for that price. Now, before we dive into the juicy performance numbers, let's talk about the specs of this absolute monster GPU, the Asus TUF RTX 4090. The 4090 is a beast, no two ways about it, with 24GB of GDDR6 VRAM, and a boost clock of up to 2.9 GHz and a jaw-dropping 16,384 CUDA cores. This GPU is built to handle anything you throw at it, powered by Nvidia's Ava Lovelace architecture. It delivers amazing performance, but let's be real, this powerhouse comes with an appetite at 450 watts TDP. The 4090 isn't sipping power, it's guzzling it. In Red Dead Redemption 2, with motion blur and depth of field disabled and every other setting maxed out to ultra at 1440p. The RTX 4090 delivers an absolutely stunning experience. When pushed to the limits, this card consumes about 350 watts, and using up to 18GB of system RAM and just over 8GB of VRAM. The performance is remarkable, with an average of 121 FPS and 1% lows reaching 85 FPS. Ensuring smooth gameplay even during those intense moments. The RTX 4090 doesn't just play Red Dead Redemption 2, it owns it, offering one of the smoothest, most visually stunning gaming experiences you can get. Next up is Alan Wake 2, and this is a stunningly beautiful game that takes advantage of ray tracing. In 2025, this cutting-edge technology has become a staple in AAA games. Take for instance Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Ray tracing is a crucial feature for this game even to run. Without a 20 series GPU or higher, the game simply will not launch at all. Now let's talk about Nvidia's DLSS Deep Learning Supersampling, the ultimate game changer for 1440p gaming. By using AI to upscale lower resolution images, DLSS gives you a massive performance boost without losing too much visual fidelity. With DLSS 3.5 frame generation, the RTX 4090 takes things to the next level, making it the perfect GPU for serious 1440p gamers. In Alan Wake 2, with the graphics cranked up to high and motion blur and depth of field disabled, the system puts its power to work by pulling 420 watts from the RTX 4090, using 16GB of system RAM and 14GB of VRAM. With DLSS 3.5 and frame generation enabled, the Asus TUF RTX 4090 hits an impressive 94 FPS, and with 1% lows sitting at 86 FPS, all while running in native 1440p resolution.
I got you both some coffee.
In the Silent Hill 2 remake, the RTX 4090 absolutely dominates the original drop back in 2001, and I remember playing it back then. But when it comes to the remakes, lately they've been pushing for higher quality and visuals. Well, except for the GTA Trilogy launch, which was, well, crap. With that said, Rockstar patched it up to the point where I'd now call it the definitive edition. With all settings cranked to the max, motion blur and depth of field disabled, the VRAM usage sits around 9GB. DLSS 3.0 set to quality mode with frame generation enabled keeps performance ultra smooth. The CPU draws 160 watts while the GPU pulls 300 watts. At 1440p, the RTX 4090 delivers an impressive 173 FPS, and with 1% lows hitting 122 FPS. And that's my dog snoring in the background. He's called Diesel and he loves his sleep and likes to play Starfield. Anyway, back to the video. With this FPS, Silent Hill 2 runs butterly smooth. The bottom line is, if you want a future-proof setup that can handle anything, then the RTX 4090 is definitely the way to go. The next game is Starfield, a demanding title that has come a long way since its launch. Bethesda have done an outstanding job on optimising the game, delivering impressive performance. Paired with a 13th gen Intel Core i9-13900K and the RTX 4090, this serious setup utilises 27GB of system RAM out of 64GB and 14GB of VRAM. The RTX 4090 draws 280 watts while the 13900K consumes 220 watts, ensuring a top-tier 1440p gaming performance. With motion blur and depth of field turned off for crisper visuals, then you're a gamer who demands the absolute best. This GPU is a perfect fit. Surprisingly, Starfield doesn't run on Unreal Engine 5, instead it's powered by Creation Engine 2. The latest version of the engine is purpose-built for a massive open-world RPG. Running Starfield at 1440p with the Ultra Graphics preset, DLSS upscaling set to quality, and frame generation enabled, the Asus TUF RTX 4090 delivers an average FPS of an incredible 199, and with 1% lows at 100 FPS. The next game we're testing is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, set to the very ultra graphics preset with motion blur and depth of field disabled. Launched in October 2022 at $1,829.99 in the UK, the Asus TUF RTX 4090 has seen price shifts due to the market demand. Now, with the RTX 50 series release, including the Asus TUF RTX 5090 32GB overclock edition, at $2,579.99.
Not like this.
In Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, the Asus TUF RTX 4090 is an absolute powerhouse, drawing 285 watts paired with a 13900K that consumes just 160 watts. It leverages 20GB of RAM and maxes out 16GB of VRAM. That's quite a bit. Proving that the RTX 4090 doesn't just play modern games, it dominates them. High ray tracing, DLSS 3.0 frame generation enabled, and the quality preset for upscaling, the game averages 178 FPS. And as for the 1% lows, a rock solid 130 FPS, ensuring ultra smooth gameplay even with some of the most intensive titles. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 Heart of Chernobyl is one of the most graphically demanding games of 2025. Built on Unreal Engine 5, the latest powerhouse from Epic Games. With features like Lumen, Nanite and advanced physics, it pushes modern GPUs to their limits. The RTX 4090 will support a DLSS 4.0, but without the multi-frame generation features. The 40 series GPUs will only get a single frame boost, rather than the 3-frame advantage seen in the 50 series. But still, it's something, especially with the upscaling improvements brought by the update. So is the RTX 4090 the ultimate choice for 1440p gaming? If you're chasing ultra high frame rates in visually demanding titles like S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, it's hard to argue against it. When running on epic settings with motion blur disabled and depth of field set to low, the RTX 4090 effortlessly showcases the power of Unreal Engine 5 when it's optimized for this powerhouse GPU. Now, with DLSS 3.0 in quality mode and frame generation enabled, it pulls 270 watts of power, while the CPU draws 195 watts. The VRAM usage remains steady at 9GB, allowing for an impressive 155 FPS average, and with 1% lows dipping to 108 FPS, delivering a smooth and immersive experience for even the most demanding titles. Next up is Fortnite. For this game, the graphics are set to low to showcase a competitive gaming real case scenario at 1440p resolution. In Fortnite, maintaining a stable and high FPS can greatly improve both your performance and overall gaming experience. With the launch of the RTX 50 series, I'd love to get my hands on the 5090, but with its steep price, it's just not going to happen. So, for the time being, I'll be sticking with the peasant 4090. From what I've seen online, the biggest game changer on the 5090 is its AI-driven frame generation, adding extra frames for smoother gameplay. But beyond that, there doesn't seem to be a massive reason to upgrade, at least not yet. With frame generation disabled on the 5090, the raw performance gains appear minimal. It's clear that Nvidia is going all in on the AI this generation. In Fortnite running in native 1440p resolution and with depth of field and motion blur disabled, the game uses up to 28GB of system memory. Frame generation and DLSS upscaling are also turned off. As for VRAM usage, Fortnite utilises 8GB and delivers an average of 244 FPS, and with 1% lows of just 163 FPS. The final game is Cyberpunk 2077, and its latest update introduces DLSS 4.0, bringing two powerful new modes to the 4090. First, the Transformer model, which enhances super resolution and ray reconstruction, reducing ghosting and improving anti-aliasing for sharper, more refined visuals. Then there's the Convolutional Neural Network, CNN, which is an AI-driven system that doubles frame rates by generating additional frames between rendered ones. However, the community is referring to these as fake frames, since they aren't traditionally rendered by the game, but are AI generated to improve smoothness. As part of Nvidia's DLSS 4.0, these features push Cyberpunk's visuals to the next level, with CNN enabled running the game on ray tracing overdrive with DLSS upscaling set to quality, and motion blur and depth of field turned off. Cyberpunk consumes 18GB of system RAM and 12GB of VRAM. The GPU draws 355 watt while the CPU pulls 185 watts, putting the system into full eat electricity mode. With frame generation enabled, the game averages 151 FPS, and with 1% lows at 104 FPS, delivering a smooth and visually stunning experience. So there you have it, the ASUS RTX 4090 is an absolute beast for 1440p gaming in 2025. With its insane specs, top-tier performance and advanced features like ray tracing and DLSS, it delivers an outstanding experience, though its steep price point might make some think twice. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow tech enthusiasts. Don't forget to subscribe to Tech Tactics for more tech reviews and gaming benchmarks. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.